Today we shall be talking about water. In the Holy Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He states, وَأَنزَلْنَا مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً لِيُطَهِّرَكُمْ وَأَنزَلْنَا مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً طَهُورًا. That we have sent down from the skies water from which you purify yourself. Okay? So water which purifies. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent down from the sky water which purifies. Another place, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He states, وَيُنَزِّلُ عَلَيْكُمْ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً لِيُطَهِّرَكُمْ بِهِ وَيُذْهِبَ عَنْكُمْ رِجْزَ الشَّيْطَانِ. In Surah Anfal, verse number 11, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He states that He sends water from the skies so you purify yourselves and remove from you the impurity of the shaitan. The Mufassirun, they have said that Rijzu shaitan, this means either the whispers of shaitan or ghusl. So when ghusl becomes first upon him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has sent down water so we can purify ourselves. So water is a very, very important blessing, very great blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the question arises, we have been talking about wuzu, we have been talking about ghusl, we have been talking about these various acts of worship which we do before we even stand in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for our salah, for our namaz, or any other form of worship. So what kind of water can we use? Okay, there are many, many different types of water out there. Okay, fountains, water in lakes, and all these different places where you can find water. So which water can we use? What kind of water can we use to perform wudu? The ulama kiram, they have deduced these different places from which you can use the water. The first is rainwater. So if rainwater, let's say, falls from the skies and it collects in a big pool in your house or a big tank in your house, then you can perform wuzu using that water. The next is water from a river, okay, a flowing river. Water from a river, a canal, a stream, sea, lake or well. So you can perform wuzu from the water of all these places. That is why, if you remember 2 weeks ago, we said, or 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago, we said when a person wants to urinate, he should not urinate in a stream, in a river. Because there's a possibility that a person downstream, he may be performing wuzu from it, he may be drinking from it. That is why it's makruh to urinate in a flowing stream, in flowing water. The next is water melted from snow or ice. So if there is snow, if there is ice and more water melts from it, you can perform wudu using that water. The next is water from a reservoir or a large pool. Okay, a very large pool. Then you can perform wuzu from that water. Let's say if you had a tub, okay, or a bathtub, and you fill that with water, and you cannot perform wuzu from that. Okay, until obviously you purify your hands first, and then you can use it. Okay, let's say you came and the bathtub or the bucket was full of water, and you put your hands in it. Okay. You cannot use that water anymore because that water is now classed as ma'i musta'mal, used water. And with used water, you cannot perform wudu, you cannot perform ghusl. Okay, this is Fiqh Hanafi, remember, the Hanafi Fiqh. Okay, so let's say you've come to a bucket of water and there's no utensils to get the water out. What do? The ulama kiram, they have said, using only a few fingers, okay, of your left hand, pour the water on your right and clean your right hand. Okay, now your right hand is wet. Now you can use this hand and dip it in the water. Okay, so first you have to clean your hands, and in the absence of any utensil, any small lote, you should use your left hand, only a few fingers of your left hand, and just wash your hand first, and then now you can use this hand to perform wudu. Okay, then you can use this hand to now clean this hand, and now you can dip your hands in the water. Okay, you cannot dip your hands dry in the water, otherwise that will become ma'i mustamal, used water, and you cannot perform wudu and ghusl with used water. So, what types of water are not allowed to perform wudu with? Now, water has 3 qualities. Okay, you can tell me what qualities has water got? The first quality of water. What's that?
Taste.
The taste. Okay, water. The first quality of water is taste. What's the second quality of water?
Smell.
Smell, subhanAllah. Okay? Smell. What's the third quality of water?
Color.
Sorry?
Color.
The color. Okay? The color. 3 qualities of water. Okay? Subhanallah. Why? I may have told you this in chapter of wudu. Okay? Why is it? Okay, the first first obligatory action is wudu, is to wash the face. Before we wash the face, what do? We wash the hands, we gargle, and we clean the nose. What's the wisdom in this? Okay, what is the wisdom? The ulama kiram have said that water has got three qualities. If there is only one quality left in that, okay, then you cannot use the water. There has to be at least two qualities present in the water for you to use it. For example, you have water, okay, and somebody's put some rose in it, okay, rose. Now what happens? What happens to the smell? It becomes sweeter, it smells nice. What happens to the taste? You can taste it, yes? Okay, now you cannot use that water because it's changed two qualities out of the three. Okay? Now let's say there's water, you put salt in it. Okay? Now if you taste, can you taste the salt? Yes. Okay? Can you smell the salt? No. Okay? And what about the color? Does it change the color? It doesn't, so you can use that water. So if there are two qualities of water out of the three, okay, which are absent, you cannot use that water. If one quality or two qualities are there and one quality isn't, then you can use that water. So the wisdom of washing the hands, gargling and cleaning the nose. Okay? By washing the hands, what are you doing? You are looking at the color of the water, making sure it is correct. By gargling, you are tasting the water, making sure it tastes fine. And by inserting it in the nose, you are smelling the water. Okay? Now, when you're satisfied these three qualities are met, now you do the farz aspect of wuzu. Okay? This is the hikmah and the wisdom or one of the hikmah and the wisdoms of doing these three actions before you wash the face, which is the farz action. So, now this is a topic on the side. The things which you cannot use to perform wudu and ghusl. Any suggestions? What do you think you cannot perform wudu with? What kind of water, what kind of juice? I said the answer, give the answer away there. Anyone? What do you think you cannot perform it, what kind of substance you cannot use to perform wudu with? Let me start you off. Juice which is rinsed or squeezed from a tree, okay? You cannot perform wudu using that water. What else?
Standing water.
Sorry?
Standing water.
Standing water, yes, correct. Okay, standing water means water which, as Umar radiallahu anhu, he said that if there is let's say a bucket present, okay, or water which has been naturally heated from the sun, then you should not use that water. Okay? Meaning a small pond or a very small lake, okay? And it's been heated by the sun, you should not use that water. Why? Because we say balski bimari, okay? The whiteness of the skin. Okay? So a person should abstain from using that water. Water which is naturally heated by the sun. Okay? So let us quickly go through these. Water squeezed from a fruit or tree, you cannot use that water. Water mixed with a clean substance, resulting in the change of its form and its name. For example, a drink, a stew. So you had water, put masala in, you put tea in, you put sugar in. Now it's changed its name. Okay. Now when it changes its name, you cannot use that water anymore. Water from a large pool or reservoir which has been contaminated with an impurity, resulting in a change in its color, in its smell, in its taste. Let's say there's a massive lake and somebody urinated in that lake. Okay. Now, and the stench and the smell is really bad. You cannot use that reservoir, that water. Okay? Just something on the side. The taqwa and the piety of the Sahaba Ikram. Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala, he says that if one drop of alcohol was to fall in a lake, and if that lake was to be dried up, and grass would grow from the lake of that dry riverbed, then I would not let my camel or my horse eat from that grass. This is the taqwa and the piety of the Sahaba Kiram. That is why they reached great maqam and great heights, and they were the great awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are, in short, water which you can use. Now, are there any differences between water used for ghusl and water used for wuzu? Okay, there is no difference. You can use the same water for each application. Now, the question is, you've left some water there, okay? And a cat was sipping from that water. What's the ruling? Can you have that water? Can you use it? Or can you use it for wuzu? What do you think? Let's say you had water there and a cat was drinking from it, or a dog was drinking from it. Okay? What about a cat?
You can use the cat one, but not the dog.
Okay, subhanAllah. So inshallah, I'll just quickly go juta, इसे उर्दू में कहते हैं juta. So the leftover from which animals is classed as pure. Okay? The leftover water from animals which are lawful to eat. So those animals which we can eat, this is classed as pure. So if they were drinking from that, we can also drink from it, or it's pure to clean our bodies. Okay? And these are cow, a bull, buffalo, goat, okay, pigeon, doves, etc. Okay? So you can drink water or use the water on your bodies drank from these animals. So the leftover water from which animals is classed as makruh, disliked. You should abstain from it if there's no other water present. Or if there's other water present, you should abstain from it. If there's no other water present, then you can use it. These animals are those which live in the house, such as a cat, a mouse, okay, a snake, a lizard, birds of prey, such as a falcon, a hawk, a kite, okay, a free-roaming chicken, and then a cow having the habit of eating filth. So these are makruh, these are disliked. Now what about haram? Okay, what animals are classed as haram, and you cannot obviously have that to wash your body or to drink from. Okay, these are obviously a pig, a dog, a lion, a cheetah, a wolf, elephant, jackal, and other four-legged animals of prey. Okay, so those which prey on other animals, you cannot drink from their water. So this is the chapter of water. Now the final chapter of tahara, of the cleanliness, is all about najasat. Okay, and inshallah I'm going to whiz through this very quickly. How many najasat are there? There are two major najasat. Najasat ghaliza. Najasat ghaliza is the major impurity, and najasat khafifa is the minor impurity. Okay, so what's the major impurity called? Najasat ghaliza. What's it called? Najasat ghaliza, and this is the major impurity. For example, human feces, okay, urine, okay, blood, okay. These are najasat ghaliza, major impurity. And the minor impurity, okay, is najasat khafifa. What's it called? Najasat khafifa. Okay. So inshallah, we should talk about najasat ghaliza first. Anything which is released from the body and makes wuzu or ghusl farz is classed as najasat ghaliza, such as urine, flowing blood, flowing pus, mouthful of vomit, water from a sore eye, etc. So all these are classed as najasat ghaliza, major impurity. The feces and urine of those animals which are haram to consume. So the toilet and the urine of dogs, okay, of lions, etc., etc. These are classed as najasat ghaliza, okay, major impurity. Now what is najasat khafifa, minor impurity? Najasat khafifa is the urine of those animals which are halal to eat. So the peshab, the urine of those animals which are halal to eat, such as a cow, okay, a buffalo, a chicken, it urinates, okay, and all these animals. So the urine of these animals is najasat khafifa. Now what is the ruling if najasat ghaliza is found on the clothing? Let's say you bled, okay, and you've got, drops and spots of blood on your clothing. What is the hukam? What is the ruling? If najasat ghaliza is greater in size than a dirham is roughly a 50p coin. Okay, so if a 50p coin, if the impurity is equal to a 50p coin, okay, if it is equal, it's wajib to clean it. Wajib means that you should clean it before you perform namaz. If you don't clean it, then your namaz will be accepted, but it's wajib for you to repeat your namaz. Okay? If it is greater than a 50p coin, it is farz. Okay? But so if you pray namaz in that state, then your namaz will not be valid. Okay? You have to repeat your namaz. If it is less than a 50p coin, then it's okay. You can pray namaz, but it is better to clean it before namaz. Okay? So this is the ruling of najasat ghaliza. Now najasat khafifa is a different ruling. If a quarter of a part of your body, so let's say this arm here. So if there's urine of a cow, okay, on my sleeve here, or even pigeon feces, okay, the pigeon droppings, these are also classed as najasat khafifa. Many times we're walking down the street and pigeon, okay, it releases its feces on us. Okay, we had a nice big splat of white bird feces. Okay. Now the ruling is if that feces, bird droppings or cow urine, is 1/4 quarter is less than 1/4 of a part of the hand. So this is my arm. Let's say if it's about less than 1/4, so it's about there. Okay, a urine mark there. Then I can pray namaz in that state. That is fine. If it is equal, so if it is exactly the same as 1/4 of my limb, then it is wajib to clean it. Okay, if it is if it's until there, more than a quarter, then it's first to wash that part of the body before you stand in namaz. Okay, so if it's on clothing, if it's on your body, or even if it's on your place where you're praying salah, all these three things, then you have to wash it. So just to recap, ghaliza is if it's less than a 50p coin, then it's sunnah to wash it. If it is equal to a 50p coin, then it is wajib to wash it. If it is greater than a 50p coin, it is compulsory first to wash it. Now, najasat khafifa, the lower impurity, if it is less than a quarter of your limb, it is sunnah to wash it. If it is equal to a quarter of your limb, it is wajib. And if it is more than a quarter, it is first to wash it. Okay, so these are the rulings. So how do we clean the impurity? Okay, so our religion isn't just talk about impurities, it tells you everything from start to finish. So finally, how do you clean that impurity from your body? If the impurity is solid, solid, as in, jami huwa, for example, toilet, feces, number 2, then there is no limit. There is no limit. You wash it until it's gone. The stain has been removed. Now, what if the impurity is like urine? A substance, a thin substance, flowing substance, blood, urine. What do you do then? The scholars have said, you place it, you take it and you place it under the tap, and you wash it, and then you squeeze it to your might. And you do this at least 3 times. So you wash it, you squeeze it once, and you wash it again, you squeeze it again, 3, and you wash it again, and you squeeze it. 3rd time. Now it's pure, it's spark. The question is, what if somebody's urinating on the carpet here? What do you do then? Then you need 3 pieces of cloth. A clean bucket. So we get 1 cloth, get it in the clean bucket, scrub it, and then squeeze it in obviously a different bucket. Don't squeeze it in the same bucket, otherwise then that will become impure. So you need 2 buckets for this application. Scrub it, squeeze it in the dirty bucket, chuck it away. Second couple, squeeze, rub it again, and squeeze it, chuck it away. 3rd one, rub it, squeeze it, chuck it away. So this is how you make a masalla or the floor bark from an impurity. So that is the end of this chapter on najasat. Inshallah, from next week we shall chart the new chapter of salah. And inshallah we shall do practical, we shall line up in rows and we shall do a practical demonstration of how namaz is performed in the coming weeks. But inshallah next week we shall start and begin talking about the faza'il of namaz, the merits and virtues of namaz. So inshallah we shall do that next week. So again, these sessions will now take place after Maghrib Salah. Not Asr, but inshallah after Maghrib. So please spread the word, inshallah. You can see there's probably 1 or 2 youths here, the rest are our elders. So please can I request all our elders, if you have children, if you have sons, then please bring them along with you. These sessions are purely held in English for their benefit. And inshallah, they will learn many, many things. I'm sure you are learning many things. And your mother tongue is Urdu, is Gujarati, is Punjabi. But them youth whose mother tongue is English, they'll understand more. And they'll be able to relate more. That is why, inshallah, if you spread the word to our youths and send your children in the masjid, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our sessions. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to do His worship properly. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us sincerity and save us from ostentation and save us from dikawa. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم رب اجعلني مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتي ربنا وتقبل دعاء ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.